Unstrung, written by Kinley Deki Yangzom.
Unstrung strings tugged on Alice's arm, followed by 4 more on her body, slowly pulling her awake to the call of dawn as the first rays of the day peeked through the curtains. The Puppet Land, a place where everyone danced to the requiem of the puppeteer, a world where every fate was dictated. Every resident was a puppet, perfectly happy with their puppet-like existence. Life was like a calm sea, a monotonous replay of waves. However, as time passed, Alice became a puppet with a secret. "Students who like the poem, please raise your hands," exclaimed Alice's teacher in a literature class. The string tugged Alice's right arm, pulling it upwards just like all the other students in her class. But for the first time, something was different. She didn't like the poem. She didn't want to raise her hand. "Why don't I like this poem?" She kept asking herself as she furiously went through the phrases and the words that never seemed to click with her. Why am I different? As Alice and her friends walked home, her friends sheepishly pointed to a peculiar woman, an old, gnarly puppet with bright frizzy hair and an oddly put outfit. She was the famous witch of Puppet Land, Rhea. People avoided her like the plague, always speaking ill of her. Despite this, the witch's stride maintained its poise as she swayed her hips to a different tune, where there were no strings attached. She was the only one who could possibly help Alice. With her heart pounding, Alice approached the witch cautiously. "Are you the one they call the witch?" she asked, her voice letting out a faint quiver. The witch cackled, a sound that mimicked a thunder. "Indeed, my dear, I am the witch who defied the puppeteer's will. What brings you to the corner of my world?" Alice hesitated for a while, but let her thoughts pour through. Something's wrong with me. I am having thoughts like I never had before. I don't like what others like. I am becoming different." Tears spilled through her eyes as her cheeks flushed a crimson hue. The witch watched in sympathy. "So, what do you want to do now, Alice?" "I want to be normal like others, like how I used to be. This is not me." The witch let out a silent sigh. "Let me show you something," she exclaimed as she dragged Alice to the back of her shabby room adorned with a unique pairing of polka dots and plaids. A set of scrubby maroon curtains revealed a room filled with different types of vinyl of rock and indie music. Songs that the puppeteer didn't like, so didn't the people. "This is who I am," she gushed while gleefully looking at her prized possessions. "I know this is not who I was made to be, but it is what I am meant to be," she said, as she started playing a vinyl record from the thousands from her shelves. Alice saw the witch Rhea dancing freely to the beats of the heavy cymbals, happier than any puppet she had ever seen. Something struck. She also wanted to dance, but to her own tune. Alice started to embrace herself, and she started finding out things she never knew. She never knew her favorite color was red, nor that she preferred opera to pop. Her individuality made her lose her puppet self. Her joints became rigid, and her skin tinted in hues of joy. The moment her change was evident, the gazes around her shifted. "Alice, you are making a mistake. You are tearing this world apart," they howled, baring their fangs in hostility. Each step she made was being watched by thousands of beaded eyes, gnawing at her choices that were different from theirs. "This is not you, Alice. Why can't you be like the others?" People would scowl at her face in rage and disgust. The strings that once were gentle tugs started gripping her, threatening her spirits. Doubt started encapsulating her heart, but she didn't give in. "Oh my God, those strings are leaving scars on your body, darling." Rhea gasped in horror as blood trickled down from Alice's arms, revealing remnants of her defiance. "I want to break free. I don't want these strings. What should I do?" Alice let out a desperate plea. "The only one who can cut those is the puppeteer, but she lies deep inside the land. Only your determination can navigate your path toward her." Alice ventured deeper into Puppet Land, her heart pounding like the beat of a distant drum. With each step, she drew closer to the puppeteer, and the air started playing an eerie hymn. As she entered the puppeteer's chamber, she saw a woman with cascading long hair, covered in a dark robe deeper than midnight. Her face was covered by a hood, concealing her identity to a dark shadow. My, Alice, you've caused quite a stir," she cooed, turning her gaze upon Alice. "Why would you want to abandon this life? Don't you see how happy everyone is? How happy you were? No one will like you if you are different." Alice gritted her teeth, her eyes unwavering with glints of determination as she met the puppeteer's gaze. "I am not abandoning anything," she declared, her voice trembling but resolute. "I am just being who I am and will be myself no matter what others say." A strong gust of wind started blowing. The puppeteer's hood fluttered, revealing a pair of familiar eyes embedded with a new perception. Alice was sure she recognized those eyes, so, in a flight of curiosity, she reached out and unveiled the puppeteer's mask. "What?" Alice gasped in horror. The puppeteer was not a sinister person, neither was it a monster. The person behind the mask was herself. "Alice, stop playing with those puppets of yours. We are getting late. Hurry up!" her mother shouted as Alice hurriedly left the puppets on the floor of the room. Her mother's voice drifted up the stairs. "Alice, so you still want to wear that new dress, right?" Alice looked at herself in the mirror, eyeing her beloved old saffron dress, which was out of date, and a brand new green dress that she bought just because it was trendy. She knew the answer. She was ready to accept her individuality, and with a newfound confidence she replied, "No, Mom, I want to wear my old one.